These Taggins are laying right next to these a-holes. Ugh. Oh, damn! How we doing, Airsoft apes and nerds? This is Austin with Blue Mag Airsoft, and I'm bringing you a full review / recap of my experience at Milsim West's event Jump to Barda in Victorville, California. I did have to fly from the East Coast over to California with all my gear, which is about 3 checked bags, and they were all about 48 pounds. It was a total pain in the neck. I had tag rounds, so comment in the comment section if you want me to answer your questions about traveling, because I've definitely got some experience doing it, and now I know what I'm doing when I'm traveling. It wasn't that big of a deal, but sometimes people just get freaked out, so make a comment below. I'm going to get right into a kit review here before we step into the action. That way you guys know what I'm wearing, what I look like, what kind of equipment I'm rocking, and then we can get into the good stuff. To start out this kit walkthrough, I'd like to point out that I was wearing these white phosphorus night vision goggles that are being used. I picked them up online. They are PVS 14s, and they look and feel absolutely phenomenal out in the field. This clip is out of focus because I kind of messed that up, but you can still see how clear these things are. For my AEG, I was not using an HPA system this game. I was using a classic Army Mark 18 with a PEC 15. On the bottom I have the Taginn ML36 grenade launcher, and yes, I have a red dot. It had no batteries or even worked. It was free, so I slapped it on, and if you watch my other video, you know I'm all about the cool factor. Not so much practicality. My helmet is a Mitch with PVS 14 white phosphorus night vision. My carrier is a 1 Tigris JPC, and as usual I have the Segura Company combat belt with the S-Tac Kiwi pouches with an Elite Force Glock. I also have a tactical Taylor 40mm grenade holster that holds 10 rounds, and throughout the event I carried a total of 20 chalk rounds because there was no pyro allowed at this event. I also had a secondary getup that consisted of a short sleeve shirt and some combat Crocs. Can't go anywhere without your combat Crocs. Like any Milsim West event, you do a layout, you chrono, you get medically cleared, and then you sit around messing around with your radio and sitting and waiting until you finally ruck out to your position. This was our objective, to hold this corner building until morning. We would then ruck out to our fob Saturday night and hold it until evac in the morning. I was expecting to get steamrolled at night, to be honest, because that's what happened to me last time, but we actually held our ground till noon the next day. And I mean, even then they didn't break through our lines. We actually rucked out of there, and then they took over our position. But it was partly because we had a terrific squad of guys. Everyone was a team player, and we all became real good friends, staying up late on guard and hallucinating together because we weren't getting enough sleep. I maybe got an hour of sleep that night. I just kind of sat against the wall and put my head against the wall, and next thing I knew, the sun was coming up. We got hit plenty of times throughout the night, like a lot, but it was just a real team effort on our part to hold that area, and we did it very well. You slip one more time, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind with you. Get down, get down. It's an LMG.
I was gonna go take a shit right now. God.
Hey, where did you see him? Hey, right here, right here. Right in front! You got him?
Another one.
Yep. Stand by. Oh! Ah! Ah! Jesus! Got 2 of them. Ah!
got him? No.
Yeah, I got him. Need a mag. Oh, Jesus, get down!
Go, go, Adrian! Move!
Get down! Third platoon, my platoon, spent the entire Saturday afternoon inside of 2 buildings holding down the corner of the street, which we did very well, and we killed a lot of people, quote unquote, and it was a total blast sitting in there and just picking people off. But this is us rucking to our new forward operating base where we kind of had some downtime because we had a lot of support there. Headquarters had moved back there. All 4 of the platoons were there. It was just it was a good time, but we still ran a lot of missions outside of the base, such as this recon mission in my Crocs, and then we went and cleared rooms and just kind of did a lot of, you know, launching missions from the forward operating base, which was also a total blast. And you can see here we're setting up C-wire in the back of our forward operating base so that way no one can come through while we're sleeping, which this turned out to be an issue. A couple people brought it up on the RUSFOR team at the end of the event because they were complaining that somebody had put C-wire around their building and they got caught in it. So that that kind of came back to bite us, but it still was kind of funny to hear about this C-wire because we were like, oh, that was us. Watch your top left.
Watch out, he's aiming to the walkway.
Next set of buildings. Stand by for support.
Yes.
These guys dead or what? Keep moving, keep moving. Target.
There's no way to get this way from this section, so stay on that side and keep pushing this way till you get to the end of the building, and then we'll link back up with you.
Yeah, we'll keep clearing.
Okay.
All right, let's keep clearing, guys. All right, let's party.
But yeah, and then there's like hella bad news. Start eating crane. I mean, don't tell me you're good.
Have a building straight on from you, that's bad guys.
All right.
All right,
It'll be directly at your 12 when you're around the curve.
Target. Second floor.
Just part them out. They're not going anywhere. We're gonna start pulling back to the bomb. Let's go. Hey, start pulling back. Let's go.
Dude, we got killed from a murder hole, from 2 murder holes.
After a few more thunder runs on Saturday night with the vehicle crews, we decided to head back to the forward operating base to get some downtime, which does not happen at Milsim West. I mean, they're well known for doing these really well put together Milsim events that are super realistic because I'll tell you what, you do not get a lot of sleep out there. Friday night I maybe got an hour, Saturday night maybe about 2 or 3, just because you're constantly getting hit at night, you're constantly on guard. People can come in and shoot you in your sleeping bags, which didn't happen to us, thank goodness. The C-wire seemed to save our lives, But there was a point on Saturday night where we really didn't have anyone on Firewatch. People just kept falling asleep, or they were just like, I'm done, I'm going to bed. And somehow we made it through the night without losing anybody, quote unquote. But it still's a lot of fun. In the morning, I mean, it was like getting woken up to getting ambushed again is like, it's a ton of fun. So Saturday, or rather Sunday, we had some orders to go outside the forward operating base and secure the perimeter. And this footage here is us holding down a 2-story building from kind of the onslaught from the Russians and the militia forces, which was really the last contact of the day until they called index. I want to talk about these zoomed-in camera shots real quick and how they show that my BBs are clearly falling 5 to 10 feet short of the enemy players. And notice how I'm not making a video about it. I'm not blowing it out of proportion, zooming in and slowing it down and being like, look at my BB clearly hit all 9 of those Russian soldiers. I don't care. I know my BBs aren't hitting them. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, especially with the Taginn rounds. You can clearly see that the Taginn rounds impact right next to some people, and they don't call themselves out. It's because they don't know, not because they're cheaters and they're poor sports. It's just because people wear freaking simulated body armor in this game. So carry that into your next game, however you do it. Just try and get rid of this trend in Airsoft because it really drives away new players, and we're trying to grow this community.
Oh, these tag rounds, man, not going off next to them so they don't know. Guys, they're flanking us! Flanking us around the concrete barriers. Axe, Ruane, displace. This side, other side of the courtyard. Hustle up, they're moving, they're flanking us over here. Other side of the courtyard. Guys, shift left. If you're over there, shift over to my position. They're all in the open here. Oh, baby, don't fail me this time. Sit! Dude. Tag round is impacted right next to these a-holes. Reloading. What's going on, you guys? Talk to each other! Yeah, good copy! Oof. Target's right below us! Watch out. That guy's right down here. Oh, nice, nice. Ooh, that was far as f, dude.
Far, yeah. I went to 100, but...
Alright folks, that's just about all the good combat footage I have of this event. I really tried to keep it compact, as short as I could, but still get the best quality and some good shots and some good pointers in there for you guys that wanted to know a little bit more about this event. One of the biggest things I would recommend for Milsim West is just pack appropriately. have a lot of food that's appropriate, but not too much. I mean, my ruck was probably around 40, 50 pounds. It wasn't anything crazy. I didn't overpack. I didn't do like 20 Mountain House meals. I did like 4. So that was pretty important. I felt like I was adequately prepared for this event. And as in terms of cold weather gear and snivel gear, if you don't know what snivel gear is, it's just it's a military way of saying cold weather gear. And I would say that would be something that you really should focus on, because in the mornings it gets real cold when you first wake up around 4 a.m. And then also at night it gets pretty chilly, and then while you're just sleeping it gets cold. The sleeping bag is huge. You really need to invest in something good. I always had a great 3-layer sleep system while I was on active duty, and that did me really good. So that's what I went with at this event. I just did it. I spent $300 on a really nice 3-layer Army sleep system, and I'll tell you what, I was pretty toasty. So as for the event, it was fantastic. Good time, made real good friends. I mean, you can't ask for a better experience than this. It really is Milsim to the core, and it is top of the line. These are the best Milsim events, I guarantee you'll ever go to. It's worth the money, it's worth the travel, worth the hassle, just to make some really good friends at these events, because you're really you're in the shit together for multiple days, and you really develop relationships in that time frame. And I don't really deal with any egos at these events. Maybe give or take, there's some guys that just give you some crap and you're like, whatever. But for the most part, it's just a lot of fun, and you really get that cohesion and camaraderie that you're looking for. And, you know, I really found that at Milsim West. I kind of have always missed it from the military and being a grunt for years, and I really have found it at Milsim West. So if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're really going to get out of these events. You might not see too much action, and you might have some downtime here and there, but that is Milsim. It's military simulation. That's what you do. There's a lot of downtime at these events, such as Saturday morning. They really simulate that well, such as the Friday night, you know, in the shit all night, maybe an hour of sleep at your combat outpost, and then you ruck back to your forward observation post, where you kind of walk in there and you see a lot of people and a lot of security, and you're like, oh man, coming back to the fob. Like, I'm a fob it now. I get to chill. I'm gonna go get some, you know, some good food. I'm gonna sleep, and I'm just gonna chill out and let everybody else do security. And that's exactly what it's like overseas. And they replicate that so well. I mean, the feeling I had overseas of returning to a fob and taking a shower after, you know, 3 weeks of being out at a combat outpost is very similar to how I feel at Milsim West. So they really nail that properly. So get out to one of these events, guys. They're fantastic and very well done, very professional staff, and just an all-around professional event. 10 out of 10. In terms of my branding, at the end of the video here, I'm working on my own brand of BBs, so keep an eye out on my Instagram and my website. I know both are kind of rough around the edges right now because I'm kind of starting to develop them. I just want to get them out there. That way we have a firm foundation. And like the video, subscribe. That really helps build up my channel, and it helps keep the airsoft community strong so we can continue to do this sport throughout the years.